There was a boy named Arjun who lived in a quiet village, surrounded by mustard fields and narrow dirt roads. He was 17, with soft eyes and calloused hands, from years of working in his father's small carpentry shop. Every morning before the sun fully rose, he would sweep the workshop floor, arrange the tools, and wait for his father to begin the day's work. Arjun was not loud. He did not argue or compete with the other boys in the village. When they gathered near the tea stall talking about their plans to move to the city, to study engineering to become something big, Arjun stayed quiet. He listened, nodded sometimes, but never joined in with his own dreams. The village knew him as the carpenter's son. Nothing more, nothing less. His mother often looked at him with concern. "Beta, what do you want to do?" she would ask. While kneading dough in the corner of their small kitchen, the evening light would come through the window, soft and orange, and Arjun would pause holding a glass of water, unsure how to answer. "I do not know, Ma," he would say. And it was the truth. His teachers had told him he was average. His cousins said he lacked ambition. Even his closest friend Ravi once said, "You are too simple, Arjun. The world will eat you alive if you do not become sharper." Arjun never argued. He just smiled a little sadly and continued with his work. But inside, something heavy lived in his chest. A question he could not name. A restlessness he could not explain. He felt like he was standing at a crossroads every single day, but all the paths looked complicated, crowded, and far away. So he stood still. One evening after finishing work, Arjun walked to the edge of the village where an old banyan tree stood. It was his favorite place. The roots were thick and twisted the branches wide enough to block the sky. He sat there often watching the fields change color as the sun set. That day, an old man was sitting there too. His name was Mohan Kaka. He had been a school teacher once, decades ago before illness forced him to retire. Now he spent his days walking slowly through the village, greeting people sitting under trees. He was known for his silence, more than his words. "Arjun, Mohan," Kaka said without looking at him. "You come here often?" "Yes." "Kaka." Why Arjun hesitated. "It is peaceful." "Mohan." Kaka nodded. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "You know what I see when I look at young people today?" Arjun shook his head. "I see them running toward complicated paths. They think success is hidden somewhere far away behind big decisions, difficult choices, and impressive plans. But most of the time, the right path is right in front of them. Obvious, simple. And they ignore it because it does not look grand enough." Arjun frowned. "What do you mean?" "Kaka." The old man smiled. "What do you do every day?" "Beta, I help my father. I work in the shop. I make furniture. Do you like it?" Arjun opened his mouth to say no, but the word did not come. Instead, he thought about the smell of fresh wood, the way his hands moved when shaping a table leg, the quiet satisfaction. "When a chair fit together perfectly, I think I do," he said slowly. "But it is not special. Everyone says I should do more, go to college, get a real job." Mohan Kaka looked at him for a long time. "And what is a real job, Arjun?" Arjun did not answer. "Let me tell you something," the old man said. "I spent 40 years teaching children. I loved it. But when I was young, people told me I was wasting my talent. They said I should become a government officer, earn more money, gain respect. I ignored them. I chose the obvious path, the one that felt right, even if it did not look impressive, and I lived a peaceful life." No regrets. Arjun sat with those words. They did not feel like advice. They felt like permission. That night he could not sleep. He lay on his thin mattress, staring at the ceiling, thinking. He thought about his father who never complained, who worked with his hands every day, and came home tired but content. He thought about the furniture they built together. Simple chairs, sturdy tables, beds that lasted for generations. He thought about how people in the village came to them, trusted them, thanked them. Maybe it was not small. Maybe he had been seeing it wrong. The next morning, Arjun woke up early. But this time, he did not just sweep the floor. He asked his father, "Can you teach me everything? Not just the work, the craft." His father looked surprised. Then he smiled. "I thought you did not care about this." "I do," Arjun said. "I just did not know it." For the next 6 months, Arjun stopped comparing himself to others. He stopped listening to the voices that said he was not ambitious enough. He focused. He learned how to choose the right wood, how to measure without tools, how to carve details that made furniture feel alive. He made mistakes. He wasted materials. He stayed up late fixing errors. But something changed inside him. The heaviness in his chest began to fade. The restlessness became focus. He was no longer waiting for life to begin. He was living it. One day, a man from the nearby town came to the shop. He was opening a hotel and needed custom furniture. He had heard about Arjun's father, but when he saw Arjun's recent work, a wooden chair with delicate carvings, he paused. "This is beautiful," the man said. "Did you make this?" "Yes," Arjun said quietly. "I want 50 of these." "Can you do it?" Arjun's father looked at him. Arjun nodded. "Yes, we can." It took 3 months. Arjun and his father worked together side by side, building each piece with care. It was hard and it was tiring, but it was also joyful. When the work was delivered, the payment was more than they had earned in a year. But more than the money, Arjun felt something else. Pride, not the loud, boastful kind, the quiet kind. The kind that sits deep in your bones and does not need applause. A year later, Arjun opened his own small workshop next to his father's. People began calling him by name. Not the carpenter's son, just Arjun. The one who makes beautiful furniture, the one who listens when you tell him what you need, the one who delivers on time. Every time Ravi's old friend visited him one evening, he had gone to the city, tried different jobs, and come back confused and exhausted. "You seem happy," Ravi said, looking around the workshop. "I am," Arjun said. How Arjun smiled. "I stopped looking for complicated answers. I chose the path that was right in front of me, the obvious one, and it gave me peace." Ravi was quiet for a long time. Then he nodded. Arjun never became famous. He never moved to a big city or earned a fortune, but he lived with dignity. He built a life with his hands, his heart, and his choice. And every night when he closed the workshop and walked home through the quiet village, he felt something most people spend their whole lives searching for: peace. The lesson is simple but easy to forget. The right path is not always the hardest or the most impressive. Sometimes it is the one that has been waiting for you all along, quiet, obvious, and true. And when you choose it, not because it looks good to others, but because it feels right to you, that is when you finally find peace. If you believe this story should reach more people, please share it.